Fox Sports Net.
This week, the WOW Pro Tour skis into Parkersburg, West Virginia for the Homecoming Festival.
Meet Overton's big gun, Christy Overton. And the girls are going to go tackle the Ohio River. Hi, welcome to Curves. We're your hosts. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Sonia.
We're in Parkersburg, West Virginia for the WOW Team Tour Finals, and the competition is close. Team Malibu's in the lead, but there's only 1 point difference between the top 3 teams.
This is our tour finals, but it is not our final show. We have a wakeboard event coming up and the season wrap-up. But right now, let's go down to Simon Dockside to hear about the rules and regulations.
Thanks, girls. Well, as you said, it's a close race, and it's the last event of the year, so someone's going to have to step up to the plate. Now, in the yearly standings, Team Malibu are in the lead, but only by 1 point over Team Nautiques, and they're only ahead of Overton's by 1 point. Mastercraft, well, they've got a lot of work to do. We're going to kick it off this weekend with the long-distance jumping. The goal there, simply to go as far as possible. Then we're going to go wakeboarding. Now, it's the free ride format, down and back. You're allowed 2 falls, plus the double up at the end. Then we're going to be into the slalom course. Now, it's a 4-buoy slalom course instead of the traditional 6. The objective there, zigzag around the buoys. Each time you make the course, we shorten the rope to increase the degree of difficulty. Then lastly, we'll be on the trick skis, which is the gymnastics on water. Plenty of twists and turns and a couple of flips as well. Anyway, let's go down to Sonia, who's scoping the bean.
Hello everyone, today I'm scoping the beam of Fiona Nairn. She is a slalom and trick record holder in New Zealand, but she's here in the United States skiing collegiately. Fiona, what's the difference between skiing in the United States compared to in New Zealand?
In the United States, we do all of our training on perfect man-made lakes. The conditions are optimal. It's always really nice skiing conditions. You've got your inboard boats sitting in the water when you wake up. In New Zealand, we tend to do a lot of our skiing like here in Parkersburg on big natural public waters where you're sharing with a lot of other boats and putting up with wind, and it's a lot harder.
Do you enjoy skiing on the WOW Tour?
I love skiing on the WOW Tour. It's great going out and competing against world record holders, world championships, hanging out with the girls. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad you're here in the United States, and I'm glad you're on the WOW Tour with us today. I'm going to stay here and hang out with Fiona, and you guys are going to go check out the first event, which is jumping.
The first event this weekend in the Parkersburg Classic presented by Lakeview Estates is long-distance jumping. The rules fairly simple, 2 jumps each, only the longest jump counts, and the pass score is set at 137. Any skier going beyond that mark will score a bonus 2 points for their team. And first out for Team Mastercraft, Paddy Zeisler already has a 130-foot jump on the board, gets off a nice one there and comes in at 131 and is pretty stoked, so Mastercraft off to a good start. And then out for Team Malibu, Sherry Sloan. And she has recorded 123 foot on her first. The second jump here gets off a beauty. And a good look there at Speedo Cam, 134 feet for Sloan and Team Malibu. Next out for Team Overton's Brenda Baldwin, scoring 131 feet on her opener. Trying to increase it here, really puts the hammer down. Got a little out of control there, and nearly goes out the back, but manages to bring it home and scores 131, only 101 feet on that near disastrous jump. And for Nautiques now, the gun. Tony Neville from Australia comes tearing in here. This is a great looking setup. Gets off a beautiful jump there, 137, and gets the bonus points for Team Nautiques. So Mastercraft thinking, if you can do it, so can we. They send out the wild card, Karen Truelove. This is her best event. Comes screaming into the bottom. It gets off a huge 141, which is an event leader at this point, and also gets the bonus points for Team Mastercraft. So they're looking good at this point. Malibu doing the same, sending their wild card out. And Laurie Kruger having a dig now, chasing the very important extra points there. And here she comes in at a nice 127, but hangs that left ski and gets thrashed and rings her bell a little bit. So Karen Truelove and Team Mastercraft taking out the event with 141 feet. Team Mastercraft off to a great start there with Karen Truelove's big jump there, so 6 points for them. Nautiques in second with 5 bonus points from Neville. Malibu and Overton's in third and fourth.
Incredible jump event full of thrills and spills and comeback stories. Team Mastercraft comes from behind to take the lead, and we'll be back with more Curves on Fox Sports Net.
Curves is brought to you by Speedo, the only performance swimwear. By Inmar, inboard power technology for the long run. By Masterline, the official tow line of the women of Watersports. By Bliss, unique clothing and sportswear for women. Put your body in a state of bliss. And presented by Lakeview Estates, the prestigious address in Parkersburg.
Welcome back to Curves. Coming up, big air wakeboarding.
But first, let's go on a mission with Simon.
Hi and welcome to On a Mission. This week we're in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and you guessed it, we're going boating. This time we're going out on a paddle steamer. We're going to head downriver, then we're going to jump into the ski boats and let her rip. Let's go and check it out.
You finally pulled back when the world pulled on you. Alone in the room with a question hanging. You left with your hand in the air. It's still there.
Wow, Jennifer, finally it's not too hot and it's not raining. We finally have a perfect day for On a Mission.
And I can't wait to get back to the river. But first, let's meet the girl who's considered the best women's slalom skier in the world, Christy Overton.
I started water skiing when I was 4. My parents had a place on the river, Pamlico River, North Carolina. My dad loved to water ski, wanted to share his love of the sport with me. And with a little bribing for some toys, I was off in competitions at age 5, and I've loved it ever since. Well, I enjoy slalom basically because of all the sports that you could do and all the events in water skiing. It's the only one where you really get one shot. When you jump, you have 3 jumps. When you trick, you have 2 passes. Slalom, you could go through the gates, fall at the first buoy, and you're done. I feel like throughout my career that I've pretty much accomplished all of my goals. The only tournament that I have not won is the World Championships. And some things just aren't meant to be. If that happens this year, because this is a World's year, I will be elated. But if it doesn't, I don't think it'll change my life one way or the other. I'm very happy with the career I've had and with all the things I've accomplished, and I wouldn't trade anything for it. I try to be a very good girl, but I guess on the water I could be characterized as a bad girl because I try to be pretty tough. I try to be mentally tough and physically tough. So if I got to be bad, being bad on the water is not a bad thing.
Christy Overton, what an incredible woman. She's a lawyer, a mother, and a world-class athlete.
It's wonderful to have her back on the WOW Tour. Right now, let's go check out the wakeboard event.
Time for a look at the wakeboarders, the aerial stunt women of the WOW Pro Tour. The conditions on the Ohio River were fairly treacherous, and the girls found the going a little tough. One pass in each direction. This is a look at Joe Robertson's second pass for Team Mastercraft. Nails a nice back roll to revert, and desperately trying to catch up over a fairly brief first pass. And comes in now hillside to fakie actually, and throws a half cap roll. And second pass almost as treacherous as the first for Team Mastercraft. Coming in now for Team Overton, Sonia Scheffler. And this actually, look at her first pass, gets a nice back roll there. And you can see there the conditions just a little bit bumpy. Comes in, pulls off a nice toe side back roll to revert, but clips the top of the wake. And cases that squarely, throws us straight into the river, and that was the end of Sonia Scheffler. Now for Team Nautique's Brandy Hunt riding the wakeboard this weekend. It's a nice little grab in there to kick things off. This is a look at her first pass. Throws off a nice looking back roll. And around the slalom buoy, unfortunately that isn't worth anything. But comes in now toe side, gets a nice toe side back roll, lands it beautifully on the downside of the wake. Very clean and crisp, high scoring points here. Big roll to revert, plenty there. And comes in now hillside for a half cab roll. And an excellent pass that she went on for a great score of 79, including 5 inverts. So bonus points for Team Nautique's. Now for Team Malibu, Andrea Gayton opens up with a tantrum, chasing that big run from Team Nautique's. Comes in now toe side, gets a good toe side back roll, lands out cleanly. That was very nicely done there from Gayton. Comes in now backside, pulls off a good back roll. Sticks the head down a little bit and manages to ride away. Comes back, gets a toe side back roll to revert, but failed to impress on the second pass. Nautique's take out the wakeboarding, which moves them up to top spot, followed by Mastercraft with 8, Malibu closely behind with 7, and Overton's with 2.
We had a a barn burner going. It is the team finals, and Team Nautique edges out Team Malibu, who was favored in the wakeboard event, to take the lead. So don't you move. We'll be back with more Curves on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Curves on Fox Sports Net.
Coming up next, the slalom event.
Now it's time for a look at the slalom skiers. Now the conditions out there really look quite nice. It's a bright sunny day, but the water's actually moving around quite a bit, and some of the girls found a few holes out there. First up is Natalie Hamrick for Team Malibu. She's already cleared her first pass, which was 28 off. This is a look at 32 off. Gets around ball 1, and bingo, finds one of those holes right around Speedo Cam at ball 2, scoring 1.5 at 32 off. Next up, for Team Mastercraft, April Coble. She also has run 28 off. This is a look at her 32 off pass. Through the gates and found another hole right at ball 1. So only a half at 32 off for Team Mastercraft. Next out, Helena Shaylander. Now she's already done quite a bit of work. This is a look at her 35 off pass. Now she can clear all of these buoys. She will get the bonus points for Nautique. She's already run 3 passes. This is her 4th pass, 35 off, around ball 3, over to 4, makes the entire pass and gets bonus points for Team Nautiques now for 3 events in a row. So they are looking very, very strong. But Christy Overton for Team Overton's, not to be outdone, starts a line length shorter than Helena Shaylander did. That means she's running this 35 off pass in the opposite direction. Look at the form here. Around Speedo Cam at ball 3, around 4, so she gets the bonus points, but now has the opportunity, with one pass still up her sleeve, to come back at 38 off and win the event. Through the gates and wins the event by going around the first ball, but puts the hammer down, goes around ball 2. She's going to go for all of them. Around number 3, can she get the 4? Maybe not from there, but takes out the event and gets the bonus points for her team. Excellent work from Christy Overton. Clever skiing by Shaylander opens the lead for Nautiques with 16. Mastercraft and Malibu tied now with 9, but the win from Overton's closes the gap and keeps them in the race.
Great run by Christy Overton, but it's not going to be enough. Team Nautique is still in the lead.
Let's go back to On a Mission and wrap it up.
You are convinced, you are so sure. Your thoughts like oil, black and pure. You are convinced that that's the cure. Hey, now I'm asking you a question, but you know I got the headphones on again, and I think I know the answer to this one. No, can you wait till this song ends?
You know what, Jen? So far, this is my favorite On a Mission ever.
Yeah, sure, Sonia.
Why do you think I say that every time?
We'll be back with more Curves on Fox Sports Net.
Curves is brought to you by Speedo, the only performance swimwear. By Inmar, inboard power technology for the long run. By Masterline, the official tow line of the Women of Watersports. By Bliss, unique clothing and sportswear for women. Put your body in a state of bliss. Volunteers provided by Wood County Senior Citizens.
Welcome back to Curves. Coming up next, our final event, trick skiing.
But first, let's wrap up On a Mission, West Virginia style.
Sometimes when I'm out, like a light on the floor on the couch, like I feel the world slipping, like the tossing of a ship shipping. I've gotta mind the races, the dark through your darker places. I've gotta mind the races, can you slow me down?
Well, that wraps up On a Mission for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did. Now let's go and have a little girl talk with Sonia.
Hey, I'm glad you can make it. I'm sitting here with Ton and Britt, and they are telling me some of the best twin stories. I've always wanted a twin. Have you guys ever done like the fake someone out, do the switcheroo, and act like the other sister?
We don't really have a whole lot of stories. We've never done anything to really get in trouble. The only thing that I can remember was when we were in high school, we had a speech class, and one of the things we had to do was give an impromptu speech. And I had done mine one day.
I didn't want to do mine.
And she didn't want to do hers. And she was really nervous about it, and she asked me if for that day, that she knew that she was going to be giving her impromptu speech, if we could switch seats. And I said, okay. And so when I got called up, when they called Tawn, I got up and gave my 2-minute speech.
But Brit's also gotten lucky too. We were out in England, and she didn't want to go out and ski because it was freezing. And I had just gone out to ski, and she's like, Tawn, please just do this for me. I really want you to go out. I don't want to go out there. You're already wet. Your hair is wet. It's cold out there. You've got your swimsuit on.
It was windy. It was terrible conditions.
So
She's already been out.
I put on her bib and went out, and she actually wound up beating me.
So she gets the glory for first. You take second. Okay. Oh, that is too funny. That's the kind of things I'd love to be able to do. Anyways, I'm going to stay here and chat with you guys, and you guys are going to go back to the show.
As usual on the WOW Tour, the last event is a real pressure cooker, and this one is no exception. Not only is the Lakeview Estates Parkersburg Classic on the line, but the entire season championship. First out for Team Mastercraft, Fiona Nairn from New Zealand. A look at her second pass, the second of two 20-second passes, in which to do as many tricks as possible. She has the rope on tow and going through her sequences nicely here. Had a little bit of trouble on her first pass and trying to making up ground on the pass number 2, but failing to score many points on the first pass is going to come a little bit short for Team Mastercraft, picking up 3,190. So next up for Team Overton's is Holly Hunt, the sister of Brandy. And this is a look at her first pass, rope in hand, starts there with a 540-degree turn with the leg going over the line. And then sticks the back foot in the back kicker, and away she goes with the surface tricks. A wake back to back there, nice 540, turns to the back, and we'll do the reverse into the line. And just the wake 360 there, so trying to pack it in. So a good first pass, and an excellent second pass, getting 5,270. And Nortiques now send out Ronnie Barton. She tricked very, very quickly, can trick up towards 7,000 points. Very strong trick skier, really packing in here, going as quickly as she can to try and fit in as many tricks as possible. Goes here with a ski line back to back. Oh, and accidentally gets released by a pin person in the boat, and that spells drama for Nortiques. Only 2,750 for Barton. The Tawn Hunt comes out for Team Malibu, the spine of the Malibu team, consistently tricking up towards 7,000 points. And the par for this event set at 6,500. For every 200 points beyond that mark, she can earn a bonus point. And so she will be doing that feverishly to try and close the gap up to Nortiques. So gets an excellent toe pass in there, and will now come back rope in hand. If she can pack in enough tricks, they can still catch Nortiques. So here she goes, as quickly as she can, puts the foot in the back kicker and starts tearing off the 540-degree turns, a couple of back-to-backs in the middle. And going as quickly as she can, trying to get those points. That looks like she's on target for 7,000 plus. Goes for a flip here and just misses out on that. Gee, that could be important, but scores 7,380. So 4 bonus points for Team Malibu, and that is a big, big score. So Team Overton send out Regina Jaquest to try and catch some bonus points for them, which are desperately needed. And this is a first pass for Regina, rope on toe. See, they're just getting a little bit wobbly, the conditions, the water moving around quite a bit. Very difficult to stay on the center of that ski. Moves to the wake for the toe wake O. Toe wake back, a front, turns to the back and goes for the back-to-backs here. Watch the reverse here, very difficult trick. Does it perfectly, gets tangled up on top of that wake, but manages to ski it away and scores 5,040, so missing the bonus points. And now a lot of pressure on Brandy Hunt here, because Tawn has a big run and earned 4 bonus points and an eminent win, so they look like scoring 8, so Brandy must finish 3rd or better to ensure the win for Nortiques. And she does it in fine style, has a full first pass, nails this second pass, and just skips out on the flip here, but scored 6,470 and brings home the bacon for Nortiques. Excellent teamwork by Nortiques today, getting bonus points all round and taking out the tournament. And the win today puts them atop the ladder for season-ending point standings, tied with last year's champions Team Malibu, both with 13. Finishing in third with 9.5 Team Overton's, in fourth with 4.5 Team Mastercraft. Now we'll look at the Speedo Cam shot of the day, and there's a familiar face, Team Malibu's Laurie Kruger, with a beautiful jump and a not-so-beautiful ending.
Wow, a great 1999 season. We've had many winners all year long, but for the year-end tour title, we have a tie. And again, it's almost impossible on the Wild Tour to tie, but we did it. And we want to know who really is better.
Oh, well, I think Nautique's definitely better. Of course. You got to stand behind your team. But really, we just want to thank Nautique and everyone back at Correct Craft for putting us here. We had a great time on the WOW Tour. And next year, we're going to be standing up here all by our lonesome selves.
Well, I want to see what Team Malibu has to say about that.
Well, this is our second year in a row we stand on the top, and I guess we want to share a little bit with Nautique so they don't feel bad about it. We'll see next year how we do, and thanks a lot to Malibu. It's a great boat.
Well, that sounds like a challenge, so you guys better stay tuned for more of your favorite curves.